So, COOPS did not place you where you wanted, huh? You are in a course you did not ask for, maybe even a campus you never heard of, and now you are stuck, wondering if there is any hope. Welcome back to our powerful series where we uncover 7 real alternatives for students who are rejected, misplaced, or just frustrated by the COOPS placement results. If you missed the first video, please pause this and go check it out. We give you an overview of all the 7 life-changing options. That video is the foundation. The series only gets better from there, starting with today's video, which is the silent savior, the internal, or what we call the intra-university transfers. And hey, a fun fact, which is not so fun. Over 98% of people watching this right now are not subscribed. That is like attending a free class, taking all the notes, and not even saying hi to the lecturer. If you're a student in Kenya or care about your future, this channel was made for you. Click that subscribe button, gives us a thumbs up, and help us help more students across the country. It's free, it's smart, and we are here for you every week. And let's get started. So, today we are showing you how you can completely change your course within the same university legally, affordably, and fast if you act within a 3-week window. Okay, so this might just be the academic reset you've been hoping for all this time. So, what exactly is this internal transfer? So, this internal transfer, or also known as the intra-university or inter-faculty transfer, is your golden chance to switch from the course you are placed into another course within the same university. Basically means changing a course within the same university. That's why it is intra or internal. So you are changing courses within the same university. It is important to note that there's a difference, or there is an opposite, direct opposite of this alternative, which is the inter. When we talk about inter-university, which now happens via the CUPS portal, and we shall have a video about that, which is our next video. It's also going to show in the description box. That one you change university and courses via the CUPS portal, right? But in this one, you are changing a course to another course within the same university. And what that means is that you will have to, first of all, you have to be admitted into that university. Despite you not liking the course that COOPS has called you to do, you have to go to that university, whether you like it or not, and then now change when you are within. I think that's what people call fighting within, fighting from within, something of the sort. Okay. So yes, you stay in the same school, same environment, but change your academic direction. So it is designed to help students who qualify for a different course but were initially praised wrongly, or simply they are raised early enough that their passion lies elsewhere. Okay, so that is important to note that we have the internal transfers. It is requires the early submission, as we shall come to see. Late applications are not considered. It is important to note this, that there is only a 3-week window in most universities. For instance, in UN, it is 3 weeks. Once that is gone, it is gone. In fact, my advice is, once you get to that university, even if it can be the same day of admission or the next day, please start that process immediately so that you are among the first. Okay, so it's early submission, and once that window is closed, I'm telling you, it is gone for you. You have to wait for another year, and if you wait for another year, then it means you have to start all over again with a new group of class, because you cannot skip the first year. Okay, so that is important for you to note. That is a very short window. You have to be very quick, and remember, late applications are not considered. This is not the high school where a parent can come talk to the principal and bend some rules, because if we bend these rules for thousands and thousands of students in the university, then it's going to become a marketplace. Okay, so who indeed qualifies? What is the eligibility criteria? So to be eligible for an internal transfer, you must meet 3 key requirements. One is that they have to be a vacant position. They have to be a vacant slots. I mean, that is not for you to decide, but your target course must have room for new students, which is a very big trick, or it is tricky for some courses, e.g. medicine. For instance, in the University of Nairobi, I can give a 99% assurance that it is very hard for you to do an intra-university transfer from whatever course to medicine, because that course is already full. In fact, by the time COOPS is opening their portal, all those students who are self-sponsored have already filled it and have already been given their letters, and they're told whether they are qualified or not. So you can see it is already a full class. So even if you do this inter-university transfer and you are qualified, you cannot get it. So that's the first criteria. They have to be a vacant position. The second one is admission criteria, or what we call you have to meet the entry criteria. Your KCC grades must meet the required cluster points. Remember, we have a difference between cluster and cutoff points. Again, we have a video that if you want to differentiate the two, you can have a watch. But when you talk about the cluster points, we basically say that you meet the minimum requirements. For instance, if you want to do law, you are changing from maybe a Bachelor of Science Informatics to Bachelor's of Law, then you have to have met a B plane in both in either English or Kiswahili. So if you don't have that, you cannot again have the university criteria. Again, if it is medicine, you have to have a B in mathematics, in English or Kiswahili, in chemistry, and in biology, regardless of your overall grade. So those are just the minimum requirements. Leave alone the overall grade, the minimum requirements. Then the third option is that um, key requirements is the merit ranking, whereby all applicants are ranked by academic merit. So the higher your grades, the better your chances. If we have two positions and 10 people apply, it's not about first come, first serve basis. It's about the best out of those 10 that have actually applied. So it is a merit ranking. So if you meet all the three, then you are in the game. Let's get into the application process itself. So we're going to walk through this step-by-step process, but we're going to use the University of Nairobi as a typical example, but this applies to many Kenyan university. The first one is online application. So in most universities, you'll have to do this via your student portal, for instance. So you have to submit the interfaculty transfer request through that student portal. Then you have to pay for some universities. That this 1,000 might change. This fee might be different in different universities. So you submit. It is a non-refundable fee of 1,000 at the student finance office. Then there is approval. The dean's committee will evaluate your request if you meet the standards and so forth and so on. The other one is reporting early. You'll find that some universities are very strict, and this is something you have to note. If at all they agree that you have to change, then you have to ensure that you meet those requirements, that by the fourth week of the semester you are already enrolled into that program. Otherwise you are kicked out. So you have to be very keen with those timelines. Very, very important. So remember, you only have 3 weeks in most universities to complete this whole process after admission. In fact, someone was telling me in KU it is only 2 weeks. So you have to be very keen. Once you get into that university, be very keen and change wherever you want to change those courses. So let's get to the advantages of these inter transfers. The first one is the early course correction, whereby you fix your COOPS mistakes early enough before it affects your life and so forth and so on, right? Then the other one is that it is a streamlined process, and you are able to stay within your university. There's no need to transfer externally, and the process being having specific timelines, that you will get a response with time. What we mean by this is, for instance, those who are applying directly as self-sponsored students, you might apply and the university may not give you a report. It may not tell you whether you are going to be admitted or not. But now in this case, for the internal transfers, then it is a bit sure bet that by the end of the 3 weeks, you either get a confirmation whether it has been successful or unsuccessful. So it's a streamlined process. And of course, finally, is merit based. I don't know whether this is advantageous or disadvantageous, but it matters which side of the aisle you are, right? So it is merit based, not first come first serve basis, so long as you are within the timeline. But we have some disadvantages of the internal transfers, or what we call the shortcomings and so forth and so on. One is that the strict deadlines. There is a very limited window requiring prompt decision making. Missing it means waiting until the next academic year, and I've already told you what that means. So that window is very tight. If you blink, you'll miss it. Okay, it's very competitive nature because they are not guaranteed, and it depends on available slots and the student's academic merit. So I don't really promise heaven with this alternative, but it is good, it is worth it. Just try it out because the slots are limited and not everyone will succeed. That is the bitter truth. There are no late appeals. So once the transfer window closes, late applications or appeals are not entertained. If you are late, that is it. You wait until next year. Okay. So we have some things that I can tell you, recommendations from my side. Number one, do your homework, research thoroughly, know your desired cause, and confirm that you qualify way before you even get to the university itself. When you get to the university now, you act promptly, act very fast. Don't wait for even the second week or the third week. Apply the same day if you can. That is what I tell, and that's my advice for you. Okay. Prepare your documentation. Keep those documents ready. Your KCSE result slips, your transcripts if they are needed, the ID, I don't know, everything that the admission letter, everything that you are given, have it well. Okay. And of course, the very last thing that some people actually don't put a lot of focus is stay in touch with your faculty office. They can guide you or even warn you of errors. As a matter of fact, if you can have a senior student or a leader, I remember, I know that at this point in time is when we have politics in the university, and therefore these student leaders who want to be elected are at of high advantage to help you to actually go along these particular um you know documentations and everything. So ask for help. They are very eager to help because they know that is a vote for them. So don't really do it all alone. Ask for guidance, and I'm sure that by the end of the day, you will have done it well. So there you have it, a quiet but powerful way to start fresh within your university. One that many students might even have never heard about it until it is too late. So you have questions about internal transfers, drop them in the comments below. We'll answer them and even feature some in our upcoming video. So in our next video, we'll explore the inter-university transfer option where you can change to an entirely different university altogether. But before you go, remember, if you are watching this and you haven't subscribed, come on. You are clearly smart, and smart students subscribe to smart content. So click subscribe, turn on the bell, and share this with your classmates. You never know where else is stuck and needs to hear this. This is the Kenyan student where we help you rise regardless of how CUCCPS treated you. Have it nice.